359 parts per million. That's how much carbon dioxide was in our atmosphere during the first COP. And now we're up to 415 parts per million during the 26th COP. So has COP26 helped prevent further emissions? Well, it's quite complicated, so pull up a chair, sit down, and take a deep breath. Because we're diving into a recap of the last 2 weeks of climate negotiations here in Scotland. But since it's Friday, let's start with the good news. Quite a few historic climate pledges and announcements were made. The Beyond Oil and Gas Alliance, which was founded by Costa Rica and Denmark, launched a pledge to end fossil fuel use in their countries. And as of today, the alliance includes 11 member nations and states. More than 40 countries have committed to phase out coal by 2040 at the latest, with dozens more committing to ending overseas financing for coal projects. More than 100 countries have pledged to significantly reduce their methane emissions and end deforestation in their countries by 2030. In a major surprise, China and the United States have agreed to work together for climate action, although the specifics are quite vague. Millions of more acres of land and ocean are set to be protected, many of which will be safeguarded exclusively by indigenous groups. Okay, take a deep breath because it's time for the bad. Several countries have already backed out of the pledges they made at the beginning of COP26, while others have been ramping up fossil fuel production in secret, including the European Union, which has voiced its support for 30 new fossil fuel projects, and the United States, which is set to lease 80 million acres for oil and gas drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. Despite reports saying that this COP would be the most inclusive ever, it hasn't been. Activists and scientists alike have been kicked out of negotiations, and most of the additional tickets to the negotiation zone were given to press and fossil fuel representatives. The climate commitments made before and during COP26 are not enough to keep us below 1.5 degrees warming by 2100. In fact, it's looking more like 2.4 degrees Celsius warming by 2100. And lastly, leaders are still negotiating the final COP26 agreement as of the time I'm making this video, so stay tuned tomorrow for one last COP26 update on that agreement. So, is it time to panic? No, but it's time to be angry. Like, angrier than we've ever been before. COP26 is not the end to climate negotiations. There is still time to get countries and businesses to commit to real climate action, but that means we're going to have to organize like never before. And if you're feeling upset by this news, just know you are not the only one. Every single person I talked to at COP26 is feeling the same way. In summary, we've seen historic highs and lows for climate action at COP26, and even though things aren't as we hoped, there is still time.